YouTube looks like it's becoming the new MySpace. YouTube should really, the people who own Google and YouTube really need to take a look at what happened to MySpace, because they're on the same trajectory, driving YouTube into the same course as MySpace. MySpace back in the day was a place for friends. And the reason why it was a place for friends was because the content was really good. You had a lot of writers on there, you had a lot of artists on there, and they were expressing themselves, and they were making a lot of points, and making a lot of different political points, and a lot of expressing a lot of artistic ideas. It was a real good place for expression. It was a real good place for social networking. People were meeting each other. I met a lot of great writers over there. I met a lot of great artists over there. But over time, what happened with MySpace was they changed the format of their page with the 2.0. And the 2.0 really drove away a lot of people. And on top of it, they took away the ability to design pages. And that really alienated a lot of people too. Because in between 2.0 and the page changing, it just became a headache. I mean, MySpace pages took forever to load. MySpace pages, I mean, they were loaded with junk. They were loaded with music. They were loaded with big 5 megabyte photos, high resolution photos. And it took, even on a high-speed connection, it took over a minute to load a MySpace page. People it's like, there was just so much garbage on MySpace that you just couldn't enjoy the site anymore. And on top of it, things like the email, I've had so many nightmares with their MySpace email. Oh, it's a nightmare. It's just horrible. And it would crash, it would lose your messages, it would delete your messages, and all that stuff made people not want to use MySpace. Then, on top of that, you had a boatload of trolls coming to MySpace. Both trolls, and they would just come there, they would create spam accounts, they would friend you, they would message you, you would get these people sending you naked photographs of themselves. You would get people making, and they would send you pictures telling them, I want to be your friend, and it would be just a junk account or a spam account. And YouTube really is headed down that trajectory. I mean, I see it right now. I see the trolls coming on the people's pages, starting comment wars. I see the trolls making useless videos or making multiple accounts, just like on MySpace. People were making multiple accounts with making multiple accounts and being a problem. And long term, MySpace just fell off the map. It became not the place to be, because what happens when you have trolls and attention whores on a site is that they drive down your traffic, because people don't want to ever go to a site where there's going to be a lot of fights, a lot of drama, a lot of trouble. They just stop coming there. And what happens is it drives down your traffic, and that drives down your ad revenue. And that's what happened with MySpace. It drove down their traffic, drove down their ad revenue. People abandoned their pages. I have a MySpace page, but I haven't been there in over a year because it's just not a place to be. It's a headache. And I'd hate to see YouTube head down the road of MySpace, where trolls come in, attention whores come in, and they knock off all the good content, especially when it comes down to the black YouTubers. A lot of these guys have good content. A lot of them are dropping a lot of knowledge, and it's these trolls and attention whores who are coming here, and they're making the place unbearable, and making it just like a lot of the comic book message boards I used to go to, a lot of the action figure message boards I used to go to, and it's driving down, and it drove away all the traffic, all the good people, all the intelligent people who were bringing knowledge and building viewerships and building readerships, because they had actual content. They actually had something to say. And they were being pushed out by these trolls and attention whores and people who didn't like what they heard, and these people who just are bitter. Really, a lot of them were bitter and upset. Some of them were jealous because they couldn't create new and fresh content. A lot of them were upset because they didn't like what they heard. But it's not their right to tell people, and to do this false flagging and do all this other silly stuff and spamming people's boxes or starting comment wars. I mean, if you have nothing else to do, don't attack other people's sites. Don't other people's pages and other people's channels. If you don't like what's on the channel, then go find another channel. There's 5 million other channels on here. Or create your own content. But the people who do this type of stuff don't know how to be creative at all. All they know how to do is silly stuff like, or like somebody getting hit in the groin with a football or a cat dancing. They don't know how to do real content. They don't know how to have an intelligent conversation. And they're jealous of other YouTubers who can actually articulate themselves, speak well, and really put a point out there and make a commentary about things going on. And they really don't want to see other YouTubers coming up and getting popularity, gaining a following. Because I really learn a lot from a lot of the YouTubers on here, especially the black YouTubers, especially the brothers. I really am learning a lot from them, and I really want to see them continue to go on. I mean, this is a great resource, but it's being destroyed just like MySpace was. MySpace, I remember back in the day, 2008, 2007, I was learning a lot from a lot of the writers. I was learning a lot. I met a lot of good people on there. But thanks to the trolls and the attention whores, the place just fell apart, and it became a place for junk content. And I'll even go back further than that. I mean, I remember Angel Fire and back in the day, early days of the internet, Angel Fire and Homestead. They were also great sites. They had people bringing content on there. But then here came the trolls, here came the attention whores, and then they were loading up the site with a lot of junk, cheesy music, cheesy big photos, just junk content, and then you just didn't want to come there anymore. And the same thing with a lot of message boards. I mean, I used to be on the comic book message boards. They were fun to be on. People were talking about stuff back in the day, and they were talking about comic books and action figures back in the day. But then you get these trolls on there, and then people don't police the trolls, and the trolls just destroy the place. They start making negative comments. They start making snarky comments. They start using profanity. They start going into ad hominem attacks, and they drive away all the content. And that's what's happening on YouTube. All the good content they're trying to drive it. These guys are trying to drive it away, drive these people off their channels, to have their channels flagged and deleted. And also, they can get on here and make junk. They really have nothing to say. They really think they really don't have nothing to say. They want to bring on they want to do these attention whore stunts like booty shaking videos and cleavage cameras. That's what we see a lot of. That's what I saw a lot of on MySpace. People making naked photos or semi-nude photos, trying to get attention. People making numerous useless accounts. People with too much time on their hands, and they're driving out their business. And Google and YouTube is just helping these people drive themselves out of business. They're their own worst enemy, because they don't understand that it's not the guy on the channel who's the problem. It's the trolls with the multiple accounts that are the problem. It is the attention whores who are the problem. They're here to make a lot of noise and say nothing. They're just here to act out, be crazy, and that's not what YouTube is about. I mean, everybody has a right to express themselves, but you don't have a right to try to impose your standard on people. I mean, I did a video about this a while back about the flagging, deleting, because it really isn't right. Black people especially, we have come too far and had our civil rights violated to violate other people's civil rights. And they have a right to people have a right to express themselves, but with this becoming the new MySpace, I just hate to see this is a great site, and I hate to see it turn into MySpace. MySpace fell off the map because of the numerous tactics that weren't dealt with. I mean, it's sad. It was sad to see that site go, because I met a lot of great people there, and I was the first place I ever promoted books, and it was a great site because I could promote books there, because it had a blog there, it had pictures up there. I mean, everything except, I think it even had video. I mean, it was a great site, and I just hate to see YouTube go down the same road as MySpace, because MySpace, that was disappointing to see that fall off. I mean, yeah, they sold it, but when News Corp got a hold of MySpace, it just changed it for the worse. And I see Google's ownership of YouTube kind of making it be for the worse. I mean, I see it set it down the same trajectory. It's like YouTube is becoming the new MySpace. That's a wrap for that video. I just wanted to get that out there. Thanks for spending time with me. Hit me up on the comments and subscribe.